Baby, my name is Ross Mandell. Welcome to my show. Man, it is good to be here today. I'm coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. Epic Productions. And we hear uncut, unedited, uncensored, and unfiltered. You got Ross Mandell. Now, who is Ross Mandell? It's been a big question, especially around the studio. If you Google Ross Mandell, 2 S's and 2 L's, you're going to see a guy that is framed like a beast. Comes across like a bad guy when you read all that stuff. Google him. Do a Yahoo search. Same thing. You're going to find a whole lot of people put out stories, blogs, comments on a guy called Ross Mandell. Major newspapers. You're going to see stuff that people wrote. They never met me, never spoke with me, never met or spoke with anybody that does know me, and yet they're free to display what they want, you know, under the First Amendment, America and all that. I'm here to tell you who Ross Mandell really is. And I want to welcome you to my show. I will be coming to you every day. You will be able to access me on a daily basis for half an hour a day, live, uncut, unfiltered, and uncensored. And we're coming to you right now from Boca Raton, Florida. Let me jump in right away. I'm a 53-year-old guy. I have recently been indicted by the federal government of the United States. I've been charged with conspiracy, and I've been charged with securities fraud. And I was paraded on national television. I was perp walked on July the 8th, 2009. And they say roughly 70 million Americans saw that. It was played and replayed. CNBC, all the major networks, the 6 o'clock news, the 9 o'clock news, and whatnot. And, you know, when I was arrested and I surrendered to the FBI, I was read my Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Can and will be used against you in a court of law. Including this broadcast, people. I'm not here with counsel. We're unedited and uncensored. There's no boundaries for me today. Now, if I'm willing to put myself out there, then you have to be willing to just give me a listen. Give me a few minutes of your time, and let's see if we can get to know each other. I'm a 53-year-old guy. I was born in the Northeast in Brooklyn, New York. What a shock. I grew up on Long Island, the South Shore, a place called the Five Towns. And I had a pretty good childhood. You know, mom and dad, 2 boys, upper middle class, Long Island, growing up in the 60s and the 70s, born in 57. And life was pretty normal. I was a good kid. I excelled in academics. I excelled in athletics and sports. I liked the contact of physical sports, particularly football, wrestling, that sort of a thing. And always was an overachiever in school. When I was 16 years old, 1973, my father suddenly died of a heart attack, never having been sick or having any symptoms. And that turned my life upside down. I was very angry, people. You know, prior to that, I was a good kid. We went to, raised Jewish, went to temple on the holidays, was raised in sort of a semi-Jewish type family. Had a God of my understanding. Religious by no means, spiritual by no means. When you're 16, who is? And my father dropped dead on the eve of a major Jewish holiday, suddenly, and my world was turned upside down. Found out in a matter of a day that everything was mortgaged, leased, borrowed, you know, fighting for that middle class mobility, you know, check to check, month to month, year to year, trying to acquire the better things in life. and doing it the American way, which is leveraging yourself in the hopes that you're gonna catch up. And unfortunately, in the world we live in, things happen. Shit happens. It's a famous bumper sticker, isn't it now? And my world was turned upside down. God became dead to me. I had a tremendous amount of anger, and essentially, I went on a 17-year run. What does that mean? I was consumed with alcohol and drugs. At first, it was very glamorous. You know, we went to parties, we would take a few drinks, and I'd feel like the kind of guy I wanted to be. Loosen up. No boundaries, no inhibitions. You know, some would say, you know, I would have a couple of drinks. It was Clark Kent to Superman. I get that. You know, I get that. I felt that. And you know, Superman. You know, I go for that. That's how I wanted to feel. And that's what happens in the beginning. You know, I was in a lot of pain. One minute I got a nice normal family. The next minute we're broken and shattered, and my mother's in bed sick, and we got problems, big problems. And I couldn't process all these feelings, and so I turned to alcohol. I turned to drugs. I left the athletics world. Academics, just I didn't care anymore. I just didn't care. You know, you could say that it didn't matter to me if I lived or died. I really just didn't care. And I lived on the edge a great deal. And I just didn't want to feel my feelings. I didn't want to feel the hurt and the pain that comes with losing a parent when you're young. You know, he was my entire world, my father. I was a good boy. And, you know, the world came rushing in at me. And the only way I could deal with it was to medicate myself, numb myself, and party hardy. And it was a party. Somehow got through college. It's like a cloud of smoke. It was like being in a Cheech and Chong movie. And came out of school. And what else do you do when you come out of school and you're 21 years old and you basically hide 24 hours a day?